Okay, so for those people that might understand this feeling, and I'm sure you might understand this feeling too, my current crisis in life is wondering, what is the next step for me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm 20, and at the moment I still live with my parents' home, but my goal is to move out by the time before I'm 21, which is this fall. And that's scary.
You're gonna move out in August?
Yeah.
It's official?
No, that's what's scary. Is that no matter, like, I have options, but I'm so scared of, like,
what direction you need to
direction
go in. Yeah.
Because I was going to go to film school, and that's still maybe an option, but as I'm kind of going through the process of, like, getting all the paperwork I need for it and stuff, it just doesn't sound that exciting or great. And I've had so many people tell me, like, you don't need film school. You can kind of just try to make it on your own, which is true. But then I also have people be like, but the connections and the network, and you're forcing yourself to create, and that. It's like, I know, but how do you decide what's best for yourself? I don't know. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
You're just supposed to pick that as your major and just hope that it works out.
Wish it into existence.
Which sounds terrifying.
I think that's like everyone at some point in their lives. I think it happens more towards high school seniors. And like worrying, do I go to college? Do I take a gap year? Do I travel? Do I not travel? Like, I mean, if you have those opportunities, I did not. I worked. I just went straight into it because your girl didn't have money for college. But I'm at that point too where, like, I'm fresh home from Italy and I'm trying to decide what's next for my life. Am I meant to be a missionary again? If so, where? And always, like, my prayer has always been like, God, where and when? Because I have no idea on either, and what direction to take, and really what my purpose is. And all the Christians are about to be like, your purpose is to serve God.
Yep, but purpose, purpose and passion are the two words that I'm, like, always sitting there thinking, like, what is mine? Like, you can't just sit there and, like, wait for it to strike. You have to try different things, see what works out and stuff. But I finished community college, and I had a whole chunk, like a year and a half of my life where I'm like, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure my purpose and passion out. And no, I still haven't figured it out. And I don't like that because the time is ticking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everyone's at their own pace because some people don't figure out their career until they're 35.
True.
Or some people start off as mothers, and then once their kids get old enough, then they go to school and then they get a career. So it's like we are all on different scales. I saw this tweet where it's like, no one's late and no one's early. You're just on time in your life and in your path. And I'm like, dang. Because I'm always rushing. I'm like, I'm 20, I don't have my own apartment, I'm not rich, I'm not famous, I haven't done anything. And then, like, I see Jaden Smith and he's giving Michigan water, and I'm like, what am I doing?
I'm sitting here eating a mukbang video.
Right? Like, I'm not doing anything. It makes me feel so, what's the word I'm looking for? Not powerless, but, like, just not important.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like,
yeah.
I phrase it as, like, sitting on my hands. And, like, I know what I kind of want to do, but I'm not 100% on that thing. So I'm kind of, like, doing something else for the time being to prepare myself for that. But it just feels like I'm sitting. Like, I could be just going forward and trying.
Yeah.
Because I know that I love traveling. I know that I love taking pictures and videos. And I want to do stuff that benefits the community. I'm kind of, like, steering away from the Hollywood idea that I had in my brain. Because it kind of just felt like it was meaningless.
Yeah.
I guess. Where was I going with that?
Well, let me go back to where you feel stagnant and stationary in what you're doing right now. One of my friends texted me, and she had this problem because she volunteers in the church, and she does mostly everything. She does the cleaning, she does the pro presenter, she does everything. And then more people started to volunteer, which took over her positions. And that Sunday, she wasn't going to have anything to do. And she was, like, so so angry, so livid that the pastors gave other people her job because she didn't feel like she had a purpose anymore. She didn't feel like she had anything to do or was helping. And she has such a servant's heart that it was really hard for her to get it. And I told her, I was like, God is giving you the opportunity to just be happy in his house. Like, not have your mind focused on all of these other things and all of these, the future, the past. What am I going to do? Have I already done this? Who's going to be doing this? Instead of worrying about all of that, he's like giving you the opportunity to just sit there and be content in him and what he's doing now. And like just to relax in his presence and not have that stress about the future and the past and all of these things. So it's like, maybe that's this time in your life where God's just like, relax in me and in my presence. And then it'll really like show your true faith and like how much you can put into his hands and in his control.
True.
Yeah.
My word last year, I have a word for each year. This is technically 2 words, but it was be still. That was my thing. So I was like,
isn't that a song from Bethel?
It might be. I don't know. I like those 2 words, just be still, because I keep thinking about how like, even in the biblical stories, like nothing ever happened overnight. Like, everything had its time and place, and God says, wait, I'm working on it. Like, just trust me. And then because of that mentality, he's led me to do some hard decisions, but good decisions, and I've trusted him in a lot of these things that sort of felt they were obvious to me at the time, because I'm like, oh, it feels like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. But now I'm in this period where I'm like, there is nothing telling me this is what I should be doing.
Yeah.
Like, there's no like moment where I'm like, yeah, this feels like what God's wanting me to do, so I'm gonna do it. Now it's just sitting. It's like
waiting.
Hello? Do you hear? You hear me, right? Like,
yeah, right?
Give me something else. I figured out the last few problems. Like, just give me another one.
Yeah.
Like, no.
I feel like our generation, like in the world that we live in now, we're so impatient.
Oh,
and that just brings me back to like the story of Joseph in the Bible. And one pastor was like, he was a kid, like he was so young at the beginning and so old towards the end. I mean, that took years and years and years and years of him just waiting and being a servant and what he's going through. If you guys don't know the story of Joseph, what's like a quick recap of Joseph's life?
Joseph feels like he is called to be something more, and his brothers are jealous of that, so they betray him and they sell him, and he gets into he becomes a servant, a slave basically, until God hits him with another one and he gets accused for stealing, I think it was. No, he was something else. He gets accused for something illegal and he gets thrown into jail, and he meets people, and he still feels like God's speaking to him, and he's still keeping the faith despite how crummy his situation keeps getting. But through dreams he continues to speak whatever God calls him to say, and eventually it grows to where he's like the overseer of everything, and
he's basically like the king's right-hand man.
Exactly.
Which was his dream from his childhood, the dream that got him thrown into a ditch. And that just always makes me think of like how long and how much processing and how much he had to go through and how consistent he needed to be. Like, he probably thought when he was a servant, like, dude, you told me I was gonna be a king. When's it finna happen? Because this is taking a little long, I mean, I'm 14 years old and I'm being a servant up in here. Like, when do I get to be your man? I don't get it. And like, just to think like what he was thinking in that time of being trapped in that sort of life. But he was still consistent in his faith and still patient and waiting.
What I love is that every single time that he spoke about a dream, it ends up kind of getting him into trouble. But he still does it because he feels like, no, God's telling me this is the dream that I'm having for you.
Yeah.
Or interpreting dreams that other people are having. And he's still being honest to fight that every single time, except the very last time where he fulfills the truth. People are like, this guy's crazy. Let's get rid of him. Like, I don't know. That's cool to me, is that despite the fact that it showed like people didn't understand it, he did it anyway because God told him to.
Yeah, that ties into friendship. The one I just talked about how the followers will encourage you, but they don't understand you. So they'll be like the other guy in prison, when he did his dream, he was like, dude, this guy, thank you, I love you, man, I'm gonna tell him about you. But he didn't understand his full purpose and forgot about him.
Exactly.
And it's like, you need true friends and people there to really know you and understand you and help you through those situations.
Yeah, there's several times where I know that growing up, you think about how many friends could have maybe pushed you a little further, but like, this is a great opportunity for this friend because I know they're struggling for something, or I don't know, like, friends are so important at this time in our life, that help you figure out your purpose and your passion, because I don't know, you can't do it alone.
That's true.
You can't do it alone, and you have to have the right people and good friends to give you that purpose. But I will say this too, for people, sometimes a bad friend can lead you to your purpose. Like, I don't think you don't keep the bad friends, but understand what they are and know that in some way that's still growing you. Having someone that maybe is not good for you is still kind of growing you in a certain way. Like, his brothers betraying him wasn't a good thing, obviously. And like, you would rather have brothers that helped you, but it still led him to do where God needed him to go. Yeah. Like, it didn't hinder
to
him
his purpose.
as long as Joseph didn't let it hinder himself.
That's true. And I think that's like, that was more on him, like not letting their actions and what they did hurt and affect him in a negative way, but just turn that around into a positive way.
Exactly. So with our friends, we need to not let our friends hinder ourselves.
Yeah.
And find ones that push us forward.
But back to your situation. I think you're just in a time of waiting that we all eventually have to be in our lives. It's just that time to just wait and try and be content in the life that we have right now.
I'm trying so hard. And I have friends that are like, so you ready to sign a lease? You ready to do this move? And I'm like, I'm not. And
I know.
They're like, well, when will you be ready? I'm like, that's a great question, and I wish that I had the answer. I wish I could just pull out a date out of my mind. So, yep, by March 15th, I will know the answer. But I'm not.
I know. It's a true struggle.
It is.
But there's nothing really that, like, you can do, I guess, other than just pray and continue to push forward.